what it is people on the right are talking about, it's hard to understand. That's why my view is, the way I phrase it is consistently, Democrats used procedural, smarmy tactics to win. They do things like a month of voting. They do things like universal mail-in voting. It's all done above board, but it's nefarious, it's malicious. And I guess what I mean is they're betting on their voters being so ignorant to the process that they can implement things that are destroying the system, but it's done through the rules, right? There was, I can't remember the guy's name. He said the United States has a loophole that can destroy, it can be destroyed very easily, and that is the amendment process. The fact that you can amend the Constitution to destroy itself is a loophole for the destruction of this country. That's what Democrats do. They use the legal process in the prescribed legal manner to exploit and win and steal power. That's what I see them as doing. Like, they didn't just send it, they didn't just one day wake up and start sending out mail-in votes illegally. They went to the governors, they went to the legislature of their states, and they said, we want to do this. And then they said, okay, and then they did it. So a legal process only requires the consent of the people who are signing off on the legislation, and then the executive of the state to rubber stamp it and send it through. And there you go. What did they do wrong?
And in some of those states, obviously there's a difference between universal ballot and ballot by mail. You get a ballot by mail, you know, you have to qualify. You could be either serving in the military or overseas, or you could be out of state, or whatever the case may be, over 65, disabled, this, that. But in the state of Wisconsin, he pretty much took COVID under the color of COVID and made it in Wisconsin universal ballot. That's what they did in Wisconsin, and that's how they got 1.3 million votes.
And they did it.
And many of them, to think about 1.3 million votes coming out of Dane County, coming out of Milwaukee, the two most liberal areas in Wisconsin, and Trump loses by 20,000. They rejected less than 3,000 of 1.3 million.
And that's
you
the
don't
process.
have signature verification though, but you know that that some of these envelopes were missing from the ballot.
But look.
So that's where the fraud, in my opinion, comes in. There was some fraud. Was there enough fraud?
No, but
to change it.
But are we talking about a crime, or are we talking about you are mad that you lost?
Well, well, number one, I never said Trump ever lost.
No. What
I
I'm
think
saying
Trump won
is
the election.
these Democrats beat the Republican Party. They beat Donald Trump. They won. And they won through the process, because I have watched this happen my whole life. That's why I use the win red, act blue example. It is the perfect example. When I first heard that, because I had a friend who had worked on some Republican, initially was working for Democrats, and then switched over and started working for Republicans. And she told me the Republicans didn't start online fundraising until like 3 or 4 years after Democrats did. I'm like, that is it. But what's frustrating to me is, we know it's ballot harvesting because we saw it in Orange County. It exemplified it. We know that mail-in votes are overwhelmingly Democrat. We know that they champion this because they go to nursing homes, and it's legal to do this. Well, of course they're not going to reject their own ballots. You can argue that they're supposed to, but that's not even fraud. That's just bad procedure, I guess, that the people who are supposed to run the elections aren't rejecting ballots. What do you say about that? How do you prove they were or weren't supposed to? The worst case scenario is if you were to actually review those ballots, you'd say, you made a mistake. These should be, how do you prove intent? How do you prove anything other than they're going to do things that benefit themselves through the process in the legal system, and they do it all the time. And then I'm watching this happen. I'm watching people like Scott Pressler go to Florida, for instance, and flip so many people and register so many Republicans, turning the state red, and then Ron DeSantis wins by 1 million votes. And I'm like, look at this stuff they're doing that's working. And then I just hear from Trump, and I hear from a bunch of Trump supporters that like, oh, well, it was fraud and they cheated. And I'm like, well, that's an effective way to lose. We need to address exactly what they did and how they did it. They are sitting inside the chambers of their state legislatures, smiling and smoking cigars as they rubber stamp policies that guarantee them victories. And then I just keep hearing from everybody, nah, they cheated.
This is dude. This is why I was so surprised that Harmy Dillon didn't win the chair of the RNC. I feel like the Republicans needed to have some kind of change of leadership, because they completely dropped the ball. They blew it really bad with the fact that Joe Biden got elected. And then I think that the Harmy Dillon's the election for the chair of the RNC was after the election in November, wasn't it? So they blew it in the midterms too.
Yeah.
And she gets to keep her job. This is the epitome of failing up. It blows my mind.
Look, this is why I tweeted a couple days ago, we must actively destroy the Democrat and Republican parties. The Republican Party has a large percentage of good people. I think you do a great job. Obviously, Matt Gaetz is fantastic. Lauren Boebert does a good job. Marjorie Taylor Greene, fantastic.
The whole Freedom Caucus is pretty good.
Absolutely. And a few others, too. And the Democrats have, like, one guy who's, like, maybe okay. Like, Ro Khanna, we're kind of like, well, he might be okay.
Henry Cuellar is a good guy.
Yeah.
Henry's a good guy.
What do you like about him?
I just like the fact he's pro-life and he's reasonable.
All right. Well, that's
He's reasonable.
That's being
fair.
reasonable.
Well, that's exactly.
But what I see is
reasonable.
I see a malicious and evil Democratic leadership, and I see an incompetent and placative Republican Party or whatever. They either this is, I mean, look, the RNC Harmeet Dillon thing is a perfect example. How did that happen? I mean, the Republicans don't deserve my vote. It would be so preferable for me to vote for Dave Smith, the Libertarian Party, but I don't want Democrats to win. And I do like Donald Trump, but man, do I really despise the Republican leadership. I've never been a Republican. I've never been a fan of the Republicans. I think, like I mentioned, the Win Red, Act Blue thing as an example of incompetence to me is just so profound. And when you get an opportunity with Harmeet Dillon to actually do something, they reject it. Oh, it would feel so good if they would all lose again, because it's like, how many times you got to flog yourself until you correct your bad behaviors? I suppose the real issue is the Republican leadership is purposely trying to help the Democratic establishment win because they're all part of the same uniparty, and that it's only the Freedom Caucus and other Republican upstarts that are actually trying to do something. So we're all spinning our wheels, and Donald Trump was an accident that pissed off the Republican leadership. I mean, didn't Kevin McCarthy say Trump worked for Putin? Oh, now he changes his tune because he's getting forced to do so. I still don't like these people. I just see so much excuse making and a refusal to actually make the changes that need to be made to fix the problem. I'm not sure it can be fixed. You know, it's easy for me to sit here and complain. You're actually there doing the work. I'm just some dude complaining on the internet, so what do I know?
How much are you in contact with, like, the RNC, and do you feel like they understand that ballot harvesting is the future if they want to win? Do you feel like there are people at the RNC that actually are on these problems and are going to address the issues, or do you think that they're just going to be like, well, you got a job?
Yeah, I really don't have conversations with Rhonda McDaniel. She was reelected.
Yeah.
I will say this: there's about 25 to 30 of us, or 35 to 40 of us in the Freedom Caucus. It's a great organization. It's a great group of people, very smart people. You mentioned some very smart people in that group. And we consider ourselves America First patriots. We put America first. Many of us, obviously, have never voted for a debt ceiling increase. We got some of that coming up. Many of us don't necessarily support all the funding going to Ukraine. Many of us want to see a secure southern border. Many of us want to see election integrity. And many of us understand that this government's gotten way too big. It's out of control. The spending's out of control.
Many of you?
We come up, well, in the Freedom Caucus.
Okay.
In the Freedom Caucus. I can't, we need more members that are like us, the fiscal conservatives, the ones that truly understand what $1 trillion really means. And so it's trying to find people that are willing to take the fight to Washington. Donald Trump did that. And that's why the establishment despised him. And that's why you have guys like Paul Ryan and some of these other individuals saying, if Donald Trump is the nominee, if the Republican nominee, they won't vote for him in November. We ought to throw individuals like that out of the Republican Party.
Yes.
Listen, I'm not a big fan of DeSantis. I think Donald Trump's the leader of our party. But if DeSantis, for some reason, becomes the nominee, I'm all in for him in November. I'll take a Republican over any Democrat. But you've got some of these rhinos and some of the establishment that don't like Donald Trump, and they'll just say the hell with the Republican Party and won't support the nominee. That's what's dangerous. We got to kick him out of the party.
Yes.
Like Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger should have kicked them out. They got to go.
Weren't they kicked out?
Well, we didn't really ever. We should have actually
There
kicked
was
them
like
out.
a ceremonial vote, but not enough.
Mike Cernovich, I think it was Mike Cernovich had this great tweet that maybe I can actually try and pull up because I may have retweeted it, and Cernovich is a smart dude.
He's also was like super nice to me. Like we don't have any kind of history or anything. He was super polite and cool. So
let me see if I. Yep, here we go. I got it. Let me pull it in. All right. He said, responding to one tweet from Daily Sunshine, Daily Sunshine says, can someone explain how this works? Why doesn't more crime result in people voting out those responsible for safety? How do these people stay in power in a democracy? I see that it works, but I don't understand from a logical standpoint how it works. Mike Cernovich says, Democrats do not have noble DNA. It's the real divide. Right-wing people want freedom and dignity, which is why, when we have political power, we don't use it. Utter folly. The left will live as bug men stacked on each other, pooping everywhere, needles in their arms. And he's right. So the issue is, and I think a really good example is the RNC chair, after losing and losing and losing, and just being so absurdly bad at running the show, they just re-elect the same people over and over again. It's the definition of insanity. So I suppose the issue is, it's twofold. What Mike is saying is that Republicans don't use the power.
Yeah.
No, then you're going to lose. That's it. And the bug men are going to win.
I feel like young conservatives that I talk to nowadays are more in line with values that the Freedom Caucus is talking about, and I think that you're going to see them become more and more isolated from the Republican leadership if they continue on the path they're on, right? If the leadership of the party continues to say, no, this is the way we've always done it, and we're going to continue to do it this way, they will see youth voters pull away from them. And I think, as we know, if you can't capture young voters, then you don't really have a future. I think in some ways, time is ticking on the old guard in the Republican Party, the same way it's ticking for the old guard in the Democratic Party. I mean, they are drifting in all kinds of crazy directions that they cannot keep up with.
I think DeSantis is a perfect example. I'm really off the DeSantis train. I mean, I was big on DeSantis a year ago, and following the press conference he gave, just seeing how he's been handling everything that's going on in the press, I am moving further and further away from him, because more and more he represents to me what the failures of the Republican Party are. He should have got up in front when he was talking about, digital currencies, central bank digital currencies, and he's doing a lot of good things by being up to date with the problems we're facing, with the culture war, with economic issues. I respect that. That's a good thing. And when given the opportunity to be a leader, he said no, because he was scared. I think Ron DeSantis was scared. He was scared to say F you to the anti-Trump group, for whatever reason. If he thinks he is going to win any voter from Trump by being weaker than Trump, he is completely wrong. And I'm looking at what Mike Cernovich said, and he made a great point that Republicans, or he said that the right want freedom and dignity, they won't use power. He's completely right. Just a bunch of cowards. And it's just every step of the way. The Democrats, let's talk about Ilhan Omar and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene gets booted off her committees because a couple of years before she's elected, she posts some rambling, incoherent thing about space lasers funded by a Rothschild's bank. The media then spins that into anti-Semitism, and then she's booted from her committees because Republicans are cowards. Not all of them. Freedom Caucus, you guys are pretty good. But then you get Ilhan Omar, who makes these repeated statements in office, and then they're like, well, but let's not go be too hasty there. Let's just condemn all bigotry. And that's what ends up happening. Because the Democrats, Antifa, these leftists, they can steamroll, they can firebomb, and the media protects them. And Republicans are like, well, I would say something, but the New York Times will write a mean hit piece about me. So I'm like, oh, well, I don't know. That's why people wanted Trump, because Trump told the media to F off. And so they were like, there you go, you do that, do more of that. That's why I was really excited for pushing back on Kevin McCarthy when that whole fight happened.
We did, yeah. As it relates to Omar, she was removed. She was voted off of her Foreign Affairs Committee. She was.
After how many years?
Eric Swalwell, he was removed off of Intel because of his relationship with Yum Yum. And,
Fong Fong.
So, Yum Yum. So he's gone. But we have made it very clear, and listen, I was one of the Freedom Caucus guys that gave one of the nomination speeches for Kevin McCarthy, because I thought that the real battle in the Republican Party is going to be when this important legislation comes through, like the debt ceiling. I mean, it's been pretty easy peasy up to this point, but when we got these debt ceiling increases and trying to actually pass a budget and reduce spending, that's when it's going to start getting very, very difficult for Speaker McCarthy. And I just believe that right now, every decision that we make as the majority in the House of Representatives has to be in the best interest of getting the White House back in 2024. Because we're talking about, listen, we got a great plan, Texas. We all came together, the representatives, a good border security plan. Even if we could get that out of the House, it's dead in the Senate. I mean, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but we could come up with all the greatest ideas in the world here in the next 2 years with a Republican majority in the House of Representatives, but going to the Senate and getting anything done, I can't tell you. So that's why it's right now, it's all about investigations. Because we got to expose these individuals, the crooks, for who they are, so we can get the White House back in 2024.
But legislatively, you're just kind of running out the clock.
Well, there's nothing they can do.
Well, no, I think we owe it to the American people. They gave us the gavel. They're begging for leadership. So they gave us the House of Representatives. So now let's lead. Let's do everything we can to pass meaningful, conservative legislation through the House. Let the American people know that we actually really care about leadership and doing the right thing for America and America first. But then it's going to go to the Senate, run by the Democrats, and it's dead. So I think now it's all about investigations, because we need to expose this family, the most corrupt family, in my humble opinion, to ever serve in the White House. We got to expose them for who they truly are, and all of his friends in the DOJ, the FBI, all of them. We need to expose them all.
You should be doing investigations just because you actually cannot pass any legislation because of the Senate.
You should
so
always.
Just go and investigate because you got nothing better to do.
But I don't think that's going to win anything in 2024. Because the game is different right now. Likely voters don't matter. The reason why the polling didn't make sense, right? The polls in the midterm showed it was going to be tremendous for the Republican Party. And then it was meh. And the reason for it is because when pollsters contact likely voters and say, how do you plan on voting? The likely voter tells them, they make a poll based on it. The likely voter then said, Republicans all the way. Then they went and knocked on doors at nursing homes and apartments and got random non-voters to vote. This changed everything. And that's probably the main reason it was so skewed this time and Republicans were caught off guard. That's the game right now. You don't need, this is what the Republican mindset is, I'm going to go convince that person to vote for me. And the Democrats' mindset is, I'm going to knock on their door and tell them to sign a piece of paper. And that's why they win. They don't got to convince them of anything. They can use social pressure and fear, or they can remove all barriers. So you got someone knock on your door, and they say, "What do you want? I'm in the middle of the game. Did you fill out your mail-in vote and vote for the Democrat? No, I don't want to do it. Well, if you don't vote it, if you don't fill it out right now, I will be back here tomorrow at the same time. And if you don't do it, I'll come back." And then every day they knock on the door, and the guy's like, "You again? Fine, I'll fill out the thing. Here you go, man. Have a nice day." They win. That's all that matters. Going into, I'm imagining these large urban living complexes, project housing, and other developments in New York, for instance. How easy it is for two 20-year-old Democrat activists campaigning on behalf of Joe Biden or anybody else to go into one building in one day, knock on a door. Did you vote? No. Fill it out. Sign your name. I can take it for you. They turn around without moving a single inch and knock on a door behind them and get another vote. Here's the crazier thing. Each of these doors could have 2 or 3 people behind them. Within a matter of an hour, they can have 50 votes in their bag. Republicans can't do that because conservatives live in rural areas. You're going to go drive door to door? The closest neighbor to us will take you about 5 minutes to walk to, or get in your car.
So what's Republican? Oh, sorry.
I haven't done the research on universal ballot, how many states just mail you a ballot. I don't think it's that many. I think there are some.
It's the important ones.
Well, it is the important one. I understand that. And I haven't looked at the swing states, but I think, again, it goes back to the COVID with the emergency declaration. It allowed governors, secretary of states, and even county clerks to start forming their own opinion on what the emergency declaration really meant and how they could keep their people safe. Social distancing, 6 feet. Let's just mail people a ballot. You have to request a ballot by mail. So if you knock on their door and everybody's got a ballot in their
I didn't.
I understand, but now in a nursing home I could understand that, because if you're over 65, it's almost automatic. If you've ever requested one, you're going to get another one. So you shouldn't have to go and reapply every time. But the fact of the matter is that's where I believe, Tim. I believe that there is the fraud, because a lot of these ballots, there's documentation out there that said I never voted, but yeah, no, you did vote. No, I never.
But how many stories are you talking about?
Well, I'm not. I'm just saying, where there's one, there's two, there's three. The point is that the process that we have, Tim, we have to get control of, because it's not fair. It's been abused. You could say, well, the Democrats are better at it. Well, maybe they truly are, but there's still many Americans, and many of them on January 6th that came up to protest this thing. Many of us are concerned about the way this country runs
Running riot
elections,
coming up.
and we have to do something about it, because we lose the integrity of our elections.
And I agree with that, but if you believe that the Democrats won in that way, you will lose again in 2024. You barely won in 2022, and you will be crushed in 2024, because it's you've got, I think, establishment Republican types who are happy to see the Democrats win because they hate Donald Trump, people like you mentioned, Paul Ryan. And then you have the other group that just says, we can't win because they cheated. And I'm like, okay, well then please lose, because I'm sick of hearing it. I got to be honest. Like, I remember covering all of this stuff when Texas was suing Pennsylvania, and they very carefully laid out the procedures by which they were able to boost the numbers for Democrats. And then I just keep hearing over and over again, a month later, that it was Dominion, that it was China, that there were secret ballots that were stuffed under tables, and I'm like, what are you talking about? They went door to door in Philadelphia, predominantly Democrat city, and they collected these from people because they used emergency powers to make it legal. Like, if we're not going to address that, and they've maintained those rules, and the Republicans did nothing to stop them from codifying the emergency powers into law, okay, then we lose. I'll vote for Dave
Am I
Smith.
right, Tim? The state legislature in Pennsylvania is run by Democrats.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that
Wait,
wouldn't surprise me.
actually,
Ah,
at the time,
can we look that up?
the universal mail-in voting was a deal between Republicans and Democrats.
Okay.
The Republicans wanted to get rid of down ballot, voting where you can
Why?
choose Democrat and vote all Democrat. They thought it would help them. That's the story, at least. And so they said, okay, if we get rid of that, we'll give you universal mail-in voting, because they're stupid, or because they were in on it and they hate Donald Trump. I wouldn't be surprised to find out that 80% of the Republican Party is actively trying to stop Donald Trump as well, especially in the state levels. Because you look at Donald Trump getting elected in, first of all, in 2016, they hated him. They were mad. Most Republicans were ragging on him, saying this is the death of our party. You had prominent conservative speakers saying the same thing. Trump gets elected, and then what? For the next couple of years, even the Republican Party was helping the collusion narrative, which turned out to be complete and utter garbage nonsense. How was that even entertained by a single Republican? Me, I'll take full blame for being naive and be like, wow, I don't know a lot about this. What's this they're saying now about Trump and this Alpha Bank stuff? Now it's like lesson learned. How did the Republican Party fall for that and march in lockstep, helping Democrats do all of this stuff? How did they sit there and help the impeachment narrative? I just don't understand. It's crazy to me, but I can only assume it's intentional. And then the big problem I have with this look, after Trump loses the election, the immediate claim is the most insane thing I've ever heard. Servers being stolen in Germany, satellites being shot down. And when I said that's crazy, I had people ragging on me saying I was shilling for Biden or whatever, and that I needed to accept what the reality was. People were saying Donald Trump was going to be reinstated on March 3rd, and I said, this is the craziest thing about it. This is not going to happen. They were ballot harvesting. There's a major lawsuit about it. All of a sudden, as time goes on and Trump doesn't get reinstated, and it's not March, then April, not April, then May, and none of it happens, now I'm saying things like they were ballot harvesting, and these same people are going, finally seeing it our way, eh, Tim? And I'm like, this is insane. It's just mind-boggling to me, but fine. If this is people finally recognizing that some dude walks into an office, stamps a piece of paper saying, give everyone a ballot whether they want it or not, and then puts it in a box, and then I remember when I was in New Jersey, we got ballots sent to us without asking for them. So they're doing everything in their power to make sure ballots are sent to everybody. And then it's very, very simple. Mom is collecting the mail, and she walks into the kitchen, and there's her 18 and 19-year-old kids, and she says, fill out your ballots. And they go, I don't care about this stuff, Mom. Just fill out your ballots, and we're going to go eat. And they go, fine, whatever. Now you got 2 votes from 2 young people who normally don't vote. Boom, more votes for Democrats. It's
Or she fills it out for them.
perhaps like that woman from The View claimed she did. But that's immaterial. If the ballots are placed in
But you
their
got to
homes.
sign the ballot. You got to sign the ballot. That's what I think the fraud is. Now, you know, I
But
think
there's
you
no
make-
reason to say that. There's absolutely no reason to say that other than to demoralize your voting base.
Well, I just think the signature verification is very well documented across some of these states. But the fact of the matter is that we had a very difficult time in 2020. I believe that
And 2022.
and in 2022, and we got to put a stop to it. 2024, it can't be this way. We have to do something. Maybe it's getting the White House back in both chambers and doing something.
But what do you
You're not
do-
going to get the White House back with the way things are going.
Well,
I mean, like,
Unless Republicans start playing the game and figuring out what Democrats did to win and do the same thing, Republicans will lose again.
so what would you like? What do you think the
Ballot
3
harvesting.
things? Ballot harvesting. And what
Donald
else? Mm-hmm.
Trump said it himself. Ballot harvesting. Massive ground game. That's why I said
But that only works in states that mail out.
the
do
swing
you-
states like
right.
Pennsylvania.
But then what else? Like, it seems like there has to be more than just one thing, because you're saying that, like,
Ground game.
Republicans are always behind the Democrats. Like, is there anything new we should
Yes.
be doing?
Yes. Get rid of Ronna McDaniel. Bring Harmeet Dillon in. RNC have an emergency session right now where they go, hey, that election, whoopsie, gone. Bring in Harmeet or anyone else. And then put Scott Pressler in charge of the entire National Voter Outreach Division. He should be in charge. He's probably done more for the Republican Party than anyone since Abraham. Okay, I don't want to go too hyperbolic here, but the dude went state by state, getting people to register for the Republican Party to the point where in Florida, for the first time ever, there were more Republicans than Democrats. The Republicans have always been miserable at registering new voters. That's why even nationally, there's more Democrats than Republicans, and the Republicans only win when they finally get independent voters to swing in their direction a little bit. Scott Pressler changed that, but for the life of me, it seems like there is a complete inability to actually say, "Hey, let's ask them what they did, and then do that." They wrote a whole article in Time magazine, the Shadow Campaign to Save the Election, explaining how they changed laws, how they implemented these rules, how they did these programs. And then what does the Republican Party say? I don't know, it's probably people committing fraud. And it's like, but they wrote a whole thing breaking down exactly how they did it. They told you what they did. I don't know, it's probably fraud.
And then,
It's like, okay,
the
whatever, lose then.
It's like conservatives just listen to the argument and just accept it and just say, okay, fine. Well, if they've got excuses, so it's all right.
Look, if the argument is you want to use the semantic word fraud to represent that Democrats play underhanded games, I've heard people say the election was rigged, and they're not saying that that someone stole a voting machine and hacked into it. They're saying outright that the rules were changed in a way to benefit Democrats. I'm like, yeah. They wrote a whole article we've talked about a million times, the Shadow Campaign to Save the Election from Time magazine, where they said powerful elites, tech investors, financial assets were used to change rules and get more votes for Democrats, and it worked. And it's like, okay, you need to understand that machine they built, how it operates, and how to make it yourself, or it will be 2020 all over again. The fact that 2022 happened and people are thinking like, man, I guess we just didn't do as well as we thought. It's like, no, they are maintaining the universal mail-in voting rules to keep, like, you look at Lauren Boebert's district, right? What was that guy's name who ran against her?
can't say, but we got close.
542 votes, I think it was. Now, how is that possible in a rural gun-toting district? It's because even though people live very far from each other, they've got better ground game. What I mean by that, activists who are fervent and cult-like, who will get in their cars and spend their own time and money to go ballot chasing. And conservatives and Republicans don't do that. They're just like sitting at home saying, look what happened after 2020 with Georgia, right? You had an interview, a man on the street thing, I think CNN ran this, where he was asked, are you going to vote in the special, in the runoff? And he goes, no, what's the point? It's rigged anyway. And I'm like, you do two things by claiming that the election was stolen. You demoralize your voters so they don't want to vote, and you don't actually assess the methods that Democrats use to win. So I'm like, it's frustrating now, going on 2 years or so, hearing people say, especially after the midterms when Republicans got clobbered. The Republicans won the House very narrowly, despite the fact that the national mood is in favor of them. I mean, it's a scary prospect. To me, it feels like civil war is an inevitability, because the elections do not represent what the actual political mindset of the country is, because Democrats are exploiting unlikely voters for votes, and Republicans are ignoring it. Half of them are screaming that that the only thing they do is cheat, not understanding what's actually being done, and the other half are probably sitting back being like, well, as long as I'm getting paid, I don't care what happens. So, but like, Phil brought it up with Harmeet Dillon. I'm like, right there, I'm kind of, I don't know. I want Trump to win. I really do. DeSantis is a letdown. Carrie Lake, I think, should have won. She'd be a great VP. But I'm kind of at the point where it's just like, until the Republican Party is completely destroyed, I don't know if I'm interested anymore as a party. I mean, the Freedom Caucus is great, but maybe what needs to happen is 2024 needs to be so apocalyptically bad for Republicans that there's just no interest in being a Republican anymore. And then finally, we can get rid of people like Ronna McDaniel. Then finally, there will be no powerful interest. Like, if the Republicans lose again, then people might actually be like, why should I invest any money in Republicans? They're going to lose. Then you will get some prominent interest in, the powers that be that have failed will leave. And then the door will be open for someone like Harmeet to finally get in, and Scott Pressler and others to start cleaning things up. Hey, another great story is like Robbie Starbuck, who was trying to run for office in, I think it was in Nashville, right? And the Republican Party blocked him, and we're trying to stop him. I'm like, I'm at the point where I might just be satisfied watching the Republicans lose across the board, because there needs to be a clean house so that they can finally realize why they're losing.
But what makes you think that when I look at the electorate and I look at Donald Trump, I look at the policies he had and the results of his policies over 4 years. Double kill. And for many people that I still talk to that are anti-Trump, they can't come up with a policy that they didn't like. Nearing victory. Tax Cuts and Job Act, I mean, all the stuff, wanting to secure the southern border, trying to end endless wars, all of his policies and all the great he did for 4 years, there are still people today that will not vote for him because they find him to be rude or obnoxious or a narcissist. So are we really set? Are the American people truly concerned about the problems we are facing in this country? Or are we more concerned about the name calling? And I said to my friends, I said, did he call you that name? Did it affect you? No, but you know what Donald Trump's policies did? It affected you by having inflation at 1.5 and fuel that was $3 and all these positive things that Donald Trump did. But we're more concerned and set. I can't vote for that guy because he's just arrogant. And I'm thinking, how do you fix a country when you have people like that?
The problem is
that vote doesn't matter if you go and knock on a guy's door and he's sitting in his garage watching a football game in his man cave, and he's like, I don't know nothing about that Donald Trump. It's like, well, you don't like Biden, do you? I guess he's bad. Felt this for him. You got it, buddy. Have a nice day. So that person who says, I don't like Trump, I won't vote for him, doesn't matter.
That's true. But the thing is, like, I get what you're saying, but I still revert back to my earlier statement that it's the responsibility of the RNC to win elections, right? They're supposed to help Republicans win elections. That's the whole reason for them being. They have blown it. What is the RN? And I know that you don't know yourself personally. You're a member of Congress. I'm not trying to put the onus on you to answer for them. But unless the RNC decides that they want to do the things necessary to support candidates and win and really do those things, they're not going to win. And it looks to me, judging by the last election, that they don't have smart people strategizing to win that actually are aware of what the Democrats are doing. It's plain to see what the Democrats are doing. They don't hide their philosophies. They don't hide their goals. They don't hide their strategies. So why is it that nobody in the RNC knows? What? What?
They wrote an article.
Yeah.
Shadow campaign to save the election, where they break down. They're like, we had voter in the park, and we got universal mail-in voting, and we went door to door, and we were ballot chasing, and we were doing all these things, all made legal by our allies and our courts. And it's like, maybe the real investment opportunity is the Libertarian Party with the Mises Caucus. You know, you've got tremendous growth in that area, and millennials and Gen Z, I think a third consider themselves to be independent, or more than a third. They favor neither party, and so I really do think that the biggest mistake the Republicans made was reelecting Ronna McDaniel. It shows they're completely out of touch, and look, man, I grew up in Chicago, you know, Chicago urban liberal type. I voted for Donald Trump and the Republicans in 2020 because his policy was more in line with everything I'd been talking about and agreed with, so it would be insane not to. But I want to win, you know, and in 2022, seeing, despite the fact that you can look at all the polls and see the it's not a silent majority. It's a vocal majority that are saying things like the economy is bad. It was years of conversations about high gas prices, about food shortages, the famous mayonnaise gate story, where the left attacked a local restaurateur because he said he was spending like $200 a week in mayonnaise. And he was like, yeah, I have a 250-person capacity restaurant. We're typically full, and we use mayonnaise for dressings and for sandwiches and for dips. And they insulted the guy and called him far right for simply saying mayonnaise was expensive. And I'm just like, after all of that,
It's because mayonnaise is white. That's probably why.
but it's just like, I called the restaurant, I talked to the guy, and he's like, this is crazy. I've spoken to so many regular people across the board, and it seems like the sentiment is all in line more with the Republican Party, but the Republican Party is run by incompetent people. And so I'm kind of thinking, yeah, I'd like Trump to win, but I'd also prefer winning. So maybe if we can't win in 2024, because like you look how bad it was in 2022, 2020 and 2022, then it's like, okay, maybe instead of investing all of our time and energy into 2024 with a split party that's fighting amongst itself over whether or not Trump should even be the nominee, over whether or not ballot harvesting was the problem in the first place, over whether or not Trump won or didn't win, I'll just put all the resources into the Libertarian Party. Maybe we'll knock them up a few percentage points this time around, so that by 2032, maybe they'll have enough points to get on a debate stage with the National Debate Commission or something. Because otherwise, I'm like, right now I do believe, based on the track record of economics, Trump is on track to win. Because Biden, they can't. But if they bring in Michelle Obama, I think there's a strong possibility Michelle Obama wins.
I think it's more than a strong possibility. I think
it's slam dunk?
Really,
You're probably right. Because you combine everything we've already talked about with the mechanisms they've created to win, with Michelle Obama as celebrity personality. Yeah, probably.
I think that even if Biden announces he's not running and they field Michelle, I think there are enough strong Democrat candidates that will make her look foolish in terms of actual policy, right? Like, she may have the celebrity and she was the first lady, but she doesn't, I mean, she was a lawyer at one point, and she hasn't been practicing in the field for a long time. I honestly think Gavin Newsom would be able to get the nomination over her, and I think Gavin Newsom is crazy. I also think aesthetically he is not what the Democratic Party wants. I think that it's easy to be frustrated. I'm not saying that you're wrong to say that, you know, there are all kinds of things that the Republican Party should be doing, and I am very interested in the future of the Libertarian Party. But I think that the voting base does believe in Trump, even if the leadership doesn't. I think that you will see people wanting him to win, and even if the party doesn't do the things they should, I think ultimately it's dying anyway. Like, yes, they put Ron McDaniel back in, but I don't think they'll win again. I think that they are seeing the tides turn. I don't think that they will be able to continue to squeak by on the little confidence that the voters have on them if they aren't willing to get behind their preferred candidate.
Yep. I don't know. Trump needs to win.
I'll finish it with this. 74 million votes. Donald Trump got 74 million votes. He'll get 75 million votes in 2024, and he'll win with that. Joe Biden ended up with 81 million votes. It's because of the universal ballot, and they all use COVID as the excuse. We will not have COVID now to just send ballots to everybody and everybody's brother and have no accountability. So Donald Trump will be the 47th president with 75 million votes.
So one
Close all the
thing-
COVID loopholes.
I love the sentiment. I love the prospect, and I hope. But one thing that needs to be considered by the Republican Party is that it is 2023. It has been quite some time since Donald Trump was elected. I think it's been about six years and a few months since the 2016 election. But the Donald Trump election cycle was 2015, talks of it, some campaigning. I think a lot of campaigning in 2015, right? And then 2016 was the primaries. Or, I'm sorry, 2016 was the actual full presidential campaign. So somebody who was 10 years old in 2015, whose mother was crying watching TV, will be voting this time around. And there's going to be a bunch of kids who are around that age, who are young preteens, whose entire worldview is crafted upon Orange Hitler, and they will be voting this time around as well. TikTok has radicalized them. Other social media platforms are radicalizing them. So I think if it's Michelle Obama, it might end up being 90, 100 million. Because you combine the fact that they're going to have a brainwashed youth base with their ballot harvesting mechanisms and other outreach programs, yeah, Donald Trump might actually get 80 million this time around. I think so. Because a lot of older people. But you've got to take into consideration the changing demographics. There's going to be less boomer voters because they're aging out, as it were. And there's going to be more Gen Z and millennial voters who are typically, or at least large numbers, crazy.
Crazy.
Putting it lightly. I don't want to swear. But yeah, out of their minds. I mean, we had somebody on the show, Vosh. I asked him about, Biden in 2012 and like the collapse and stuff, and he says, I don't know, I was in high school, I have no idea what happened.
He just starts talking about horse penis.
Good
Did he?
shooting, Spal.
That's a Vosh joke. The internet will understand. I'm sorry.
No, just he was like, he's like, I'm 26, I don't remember Joe Biden, and I'm like, so these people don't even know anything about it. Who knows who they'll run?
Put down.
No idea. Could be AOC. I mean, it really could.
I think they'll have a really hectic year. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but I just think that there is no clear frontrunner. And I think Biden is making it worse for them by the fact that he doesn't want to step down. I also think that the DCCC is already having a hard time because they want to move where they're having their first primaries, and it's already dividing the party by the states, right? I mean, New Hampshire is saying that they will not give up their first in the nation primary. I mean, this party is in chaos. We just feel we're used to them being like this, so it doesn't seem like it. They don't have a front runner nominee, and they don't know where they're having primaries. I mean, that's bizarre.
Well, again, he got 74 million votes, and I think when the average person looks at Joe Biden and Donald Trump and his successes, and when you look at his success with the minority communities, the opportunity zones that he created, the unemployment rates among minority groups and everybody, I mean, our country was on cruise control. It was the safest, I mean, our global security, I mean, we didn't have all these issues with little rocket man teasing South Korea. He kept Putin in check, never went into Ukraine under Trump, went in and took Crimea in 2014, and then goes back into Ukraine under this, the weak president we have today. And then he did a good job with Xi Jinping, keeping him and not toying with Taiwan. So I think if you have a half a brain and you're concerned about this country and the direction it's going, and I can't see how you could not vote for Donald Trump.
But listen, you're right. But think of it this way. There is a smart man and woman, and they're at the grocery store, and they're looking at the ingredients because they're concerned about the amount of sugars and preservatives. And you walk up to them and say, quick question, you voting for Donald Trump? And they go, I might, convince me. And then you talk to them for a few minutes, and they go, you make some good points, I'll consider it. Then the Democrat walks up to two people who are buying ho-hos and ding-dongs, and they're like, yo, Biden! And they go up there, and they high-five, and then they vote for Biden. Good luck.
I think that's why they want this perp wash photo so badly, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is why they want handcuffs, so anyone who comes to collect ballots can be like,
Well, that's why
You can't
90% of
consider
the
him.
electorate, Hannah, 90% of the electorate, they know who they're voting for before they know who they're voting for today. It's that 10%. It's those independents that we have to focus on. We didn't do very well, Tim. I'm going to agree. We didn't do very well in 2022 with them, but something's got to change for 2024.
But actually, Republicans did do well, but Democrats ballot harvested.
Yeah. Well, again, we got to do better with the independents, though, as well. So, I listen. Do I have an answer to all this? I just don't believe that you're going to see all these ballots. Donald Trump had 74 million votes. It's the most votes ever in a presidential election in the history of our country. And all of a sudden, Joe Biden gets 81 million by sitting in his basement, You could say it was ballot harvesting. I think there was some ballot harvesting, but I believe there was some from fraud, and governors and secretaries of state and county clerks and others abused it. Secretaries of state, they abused the election laws in their individual states under the color of COVID because of the national declaration. It was an emergency, so we had to make these decisions. These governors in some of these states never even called their legislatures back. They didn't have to because they're in the state of Texas is a good example. Governor Abbott could do what he wanted unilaterally. He didn't have to call back his state legislature, his state senators and representatives because it was under an emergency declaration. And that's what governors did in many of these liberal states or these moderate states. They abused.
And those policies have all been codified outside of the emergency provisions and still exist to this day and will be used again.
Yeah.
So that's why if the Republicans don't figure out that this is all within the confine, it is all within the law, it's been codified, legislatures have signed them, sealed it, stamped it, and it's good, they're going to lose. Donald Trump got more votes than any incumbent in a re-election. And then Joe Biden got more. And what I told Steve Bannon was, it's because Donald Trump was anti-elected. Nobody was voting for Joe Biden. They were voting against Trump. People kept looking at the polls, and I would see Trump supporters be like, enthusiasm for Biden is 26%. Trump can't lose. And then I would look at the poll and it would say enthusiasm against Trump was 96%. Enthusiasm for Trump was 94%. And I'm like, that's your metric. Atlantic wrote the article. I talked about it a lot. Stay alive, Joe Biden. All we need is your corporeal form. They were saying in plain earshot of every single person, we don't care about Joe Biden. No one is actually voting for him. We are voting his name because we don't want Trump. That's what they were doing. So now they have the mechanisms to do it again. And the Republicans are fighting with themselves or maintaining incompetent leadership.
I mean, do you think that Democrats really would vote for Biden again? Do you think they'll just fall in line? Because he is not doing well. He's not popular.
It can't be Biden, but using these same mechanisms, look, Donald Trump said it. It's all that matters. All right, Donald Trump believes it, and he's right. Ballot harvesting. We have to become masters of ballot harvesting. And Donald Trump said something to that effect because he understands, and I'm glad he does. And that gives me some confidence that the Republican Party, or at least Donald Trump, is paying attention to what exactly happened. Because spending years talking about Dominion and China and all this stuff, and German servers and fraud was not solving the problem. Donald Trump, and that's why last year I was like, I'm probably for DeSantis at this point because he's effective. He's doing these great things. And all Donald Trump was talking about was fraud, fraud, fraud. You will never win an election if that's all you do. Now Donald Trump he's back. He's calling out the BS. He went to East Palestine. He bought McDonald's for first responders, a very human thing to do. I loved it. And he talked about ballot harvesting and how we got to do this to win. And I'm like, we got strategy, we got energy, we got real campaign work going on. This guy's got to win.
Yeah, I think it's the energy.
And Phil, I don't know. I talk to a lot of people and just kind of ask about Donald Trump, and I said, what don't you like about him? And I've never had anybody ever come up and say, I didn't like this certain policy. It was all personal. It was like, well, I don't like what he said about John McCain. I don't like he's rude. Again, I talk to, a narcissist and all stuff, and I said, but how does that affect you every day? What affects you every day are the policies and the results with the inflation and the fear and our economy was thriving. Isn't that more important? But people just kind of look at it and say, I just don't like him. And if that is the mindset today, that I just, we had a great country under Donald Trump. And he's coming back. He's the only guy, in my humble opinion, that can save this country. He's the only guy that can save this country. I have saddled my horse. I just believe that Donald Trump is the leader of the Republican Party. DeSantis seems like he's a nice guy, but he blew it the other day. And I just hope and pray. I tell you, Tim, we can't afford 4 more years of Joe Biden or any other Democrat. We just can't afford 4 more years. You think you're going to have 4 different sets of bathrooms. You're going to have everything, swim teams, men, women, doing this, doing that, transgender, everything. We're going to get rid of your truck. If you have a diesel out there, tow it out of this lot because you can't have a diesel. Get rid of it. Can't have it. And so our country is going off a cliff. And if the American people can't see that, it's right in front of their face. The Republicans, we got to wake up. We have to wake up because this has been coming. This has been in front of us, and we have completely, I don't know, ignored it, or we just think it wasn't important. But we have to wake up, and we got to save our country.
We're going to go to Super Chats, but I do want to continue the conversation in the members-only portion, and then bring in our good friends who are hanging out in the Timcast members Discord to talk about the election and what's going on as well. So we'd love to hear from your questions. So become a member at timcast.com. So that means, not on YouTube. It means go to timcast.com, the website, click Join Us. There's a Discord button in the menu that will explain to you how to sign up and get in. And then you can join, read the rules and understand. If you're a $10 a month member for at least 6 months, you get access to the voice room. If you want to immediately just jump the line, $25 a month. Understand we have to do some kind of gating, either time gate or money gate, to keep out bad actors who are going to try and get everything shut down. So it is what it is. But I think it'll be great to bring in some questions from the audience on this one. But let's read Super Chats. So also smash that like button and let's read. All right. Goldilocks Production says the struggle of today is not altogether for today. It is for a vast future also. Abraham Lincoln, annual message to Congress, December 3rd, 1861. Yeah. All right, let's see. Sketch Therapy says, I'm canceling my membership. F open chat. I paid to avoid open chat. You said you wouldn't have to deal with these trolls. So what we've done is, instead of being a YouTube member, you can become a member at timcast.com and join the Discord, where we have a screening process and rules so you can avoid all of that stuff. So instead of having to spend $10 there and $5 here, it's the same $10 now getting you access. So we've centralized it all to save you money. To hopefully so yes, if you are unhappy with the reopening of the YouTube chat, then just use your website membership or join the website, and you can go into the exclusive 24/7 conversation talking about news and stuff. I was in there earlier today, posting breaking news, and we're going to get the Timcast crew in there periodically. I think some of our writers were actually just hanging out talking to people. It was kind of fun. People posted memes. All right. Jonathan E. says, the 15-minute city chicken coop guy is former Ontario MPP Randy Hillier, who along with Maxime Bernier and Derek Sloan was among the few Canuck politicians to oppose Faucism. Randy'd be a great guest. I agree. That's funny. Do you know what a 15-minute city is? They're proposing these, in the future, you'll all live in a 15-minute city where everything you need is within 15 minutes of you, and you won't need to go anywhere or do anything because it's all right there. This guy made a funny video where he was like, I'd like to show you an example of how a 15-minute city would work. And then he opens a chicken coop. And he's like, all of their food is here. Their water, it's warm and safe. There's no reason to leave. They can leave if they want, but they don't want to. And then I can go over, and start grabbing their eggs, and take what they produce. See? They own nothing, and they're happy. Yep, they treat us like chickens. All right. Yeah, but Trump says, so this one time on Bandcamp, I made these songs. They decided I wasn't woke enough, and they deleted my account and the content. They also deleted, I believe, Bryson Gray and 5 Times August. Now, here's the thing.
Double kill.
If you're going to make none of these accounts should have been deleted. But the songs we had up, the lyrics are like, you know, the will of the people is a story about a revolution. There's no one being named. There's no... there's a political message on revolutions, and that was it. You know, I wish I could find the way to restore peace. Blessed were the days we held in vain. Like, they banned that. So, I just want to tell you this.
Double kill.
To everybody who, when I played the clip at the beginning of the show, I saw people being like, you know, it's emo, and I have people criticizing it. You know, let me just say this, first and foremost. I've been playing music my whole life. You don't have to like it. You're allowed not to. And then I will also say, We are trying to do things that are impacting culture.
5
And
minutes
all
remaining.
3 songs we've released have charted on Billboard. That's a 100% success rate so far. That's bigger than many mainstream major label bands. Major labels sign these big artists, put them on tours, spend millions of dollars, and they might get 1 or 2 to actually chart. We've done 3 for 3, and we haven't spent that much money. If we can do things like this, and it succeeds and we make money and we expand, imagine what we can do when we actually start bringing in new artists, signing more people, and grow that portion of the business. For the time being, we are spending very little and making very little, but having tremendous success. Hopefully, this will be song number 4 to chart on Billboard in its first release week. I think it will if you guys support us. And then we got a video game coming out. I'm also going to say this too. We have the Elite Club at timcast.com. And a lot of people are shocked. It's $100 a month. And you get access to the Elite Club Discord. But we are also, I don't want to speak too much about what goes on behind the scenes, but I will just say many of the people, we're planning on giving Elite Club members direct access to alpha test, beta test, pre-releases, access. I don't want to say too much because I might freak people out who work here, but we need playtesters. We need, you know, things like that. And so we're thinking that's probably the best way to do it, the Elite Club. So, you know, if you're interested, we got a video game. It's really fun. And we've teamed up with Freedom Tunes for, it's basically a Freedom Tunes video game that we are putting all the work behind, and it's Freedom Tunes themed art and everything. So I'm really excited for that. Shout out to Seamus Coughlin. All right, let's grab some more super chats.
I tell you.
All right.
30 fucking kills.
Cam Girl Asuna says, if Trump gets arrested, it will be proof that our country has truly fallen. It will prove the institutions can no longer be counted on to resolve these differences. We will have one choice left to have freedom, civil war. Yikes. I hope not, man. But we'll talk about that in the members only portion because I do kind of feel like I don't know if we have any, I don't know if there's a choice. Aaron says DeSantis is a traitor. I voted for him and I live in Florida. Wow, those are strong words, man. Those are very strong words. Chris Pavoto says, to the Texas rep, I sent you and 47 other Texas reps a very detailed letter about Down syndrome and Texas Medicare support without your office responding on your advice last time on IRL. Why the silence? Except those with a D next to their name. Look it up, sent July 2022. Oh. All right, where are we at? Bobcat says, buy chickens and pluck the government. That was a very, very good video. I really do like it. T-Rex Pet Shop says, my main Twitter account got suspended a while ago, so couldn't create account for T-Rex Pet Shop. I messaged Ian on his website, Minds, and Instagram. He can email and text or call us from the website directly. Let's work together. We will, well, let's try and put a reminder for Ian.
Yeah. We keep trying to reach out to you. We'll get to it. I promise.
All right. MSKGWD says Orange Wave 2024. Trump, Bitcoin having 2 forces of nature that can't be stopped. That is very interesting. Bitcoin allegedly, reportedly going to hit $1 million in a few months. And Bitcoin is, you know, like the orange pill. That's what Max Kaiser calls it. Donald Trump is the orange man. Maybe we will have a fusion of the crypto and Trump economy. And, you know, there you go.
My fake Instagram profile will tell you all about it. Still giving out crypto advice. Instagram won't take it down.
Raymond G. Stanley Jr. says, Tim, honestly, do you really think normies give an ish if Trump gets arrested? They never cared about anything but sports, ball, and celebrities. Yeah, normies probably don't, but the moderates that the Republicans need to win, it's going to light a fire under them. Like, I've talked to a lot of people. A lot of people who were not conservative who voted for Trump were the stop making me defend Trump camp, where it's like, you were lying about him. What's wrong with you? And then being like, you know what, Trump's not that bad. Take someone like that and play a video of Trump getting arrested, and they're going to be like, this is going too far. These people have lost their minds. They need to be stopped. And you'll get a vote for Trump. All right. What do we got? The Great Treasure says, I watch every day, love the show, and all you are doing to grow. Great guest. Keep up the great work. Tim and team, you should have Ray Comfort on this channel on our new Friday show. Stay strong, keep the faith, and stay focused. Will do. Garrett says AOC would counter Trump after the first debate by coming out tassels spinning on a pole. I don't know if I find that one as funny. I mean, if they made a comment about something more related to AOC's character and personality and things she does, then you know.
I just wasn't expecting it. That one
Yeah.
caught me off guard.
The surprise was good.
Like if she came out and
Easy.
It's hard to imagine what she would do. John.
no, I mean like if you wanted to make a joke about what her behavior would be like on the debate stage, it would be like doing a sassy Latino voice or saying something in Spanish. Like
Yeah.
probably not that out of the ordinary. I mean,
Yeah,
within
more
her
like- more like
character.
Shirley would do.
She runs, but Alex Stein is her press secretary.
No, that's something that
She comes out in an Alex Stein T-shirt. That would make his life.
Turn it on.
Monk in Training says Michelle isn't a political figure. She won't run. She hates the White House and politics. She won't run. Perhaps.
That has
Yeah.
nothing to do with whether or not she'd win.
True. Yeah.
All right. One individual, BS, is asking why you aren't bringing impeachment to the floor daily. Daily may be a bit hyperbolic, but what's your view on impeachment?
Well, number one, I don't know what purpose it serves. I think that she is worse than he. I don't think Kamala Harris is ready for that. He is an absolute failure. Joe Biden is a failure. I don't support him in any form or fashion. But again, I got to make the comment. I want him to be the nominee.
That's a good point.
I don't want him impeached. You will not see me file articles of impeachment on Joe Biden because I want him to be the nominee for the Democrats in 2024. I think Kamala Harris is a dismal failure. She broke the glass ceiling, but she can't put a sentence together. And you can see the Democrats, what they've done. They've kind of pushed her to the side and they've kind of hid her. They don't want her out front anymore because she's embarrassing, quite honestly.
That's a fantastic answer. Because, I'm like, Joe Biden should be impeached, but now I'm not so sure.
No. We
I'm like-
need to keep him right where he's at. Send him, get your people, send him $25 because we want him to be the nominee.
It's like Michael Malice talking about Fetterman. It's like, maybe the weakest flailing Doddard is the guy you want in because he's the guy Trump's going to, win against. Because if he's not there, then maybe it is Michelle. I don't know.
When do you think we'll hear from Biden on what his plans are for reelection?
He already said he's
Never.
running.
He said he's running, but they haven't
Yeah.
really formally announced. I mean, they keep sort of saying he will, but then they're like, oh, he's going to make a decision. He's going to talk to Jill.
I think there's a certain amount of Democrats that don't want to see Joe Biden run for re-election because they want someone else. Maybe they want to start fresh, start new. So some of these investigations that we're conducting, they actually want to see us come up with some good evidence to force him. They want us to come up with some stuff on Hunter and get enough probable cause, so to speak, that will expose that family for who they truly are, to put enough pressure on Joe Biden to get him out of the race.
I gotta
And so
step it up.
there's a certain group of those Democrats that enjoy what's happening right now with Jim Jordan and Comer on these investigations with the Biden family because they want us to take it to the point where Joe Biden will have to, he won't be able to seek re-election because he's been damaged by the Republicans and there's Democrats that want to see
And
that
they don't
happen.
have to do it themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, they're letting
That's
you
right.
do the work.
That's right.
I'm thinking about it. I want Trump to win, but I really, really want a three-way debate with Joe Biden, Donald Trump, and Dave Smith. I just think that would be absolutely fantastic. I think
Amazing television.
I think Dave would go hard on he would go after Trump pretty well. Trump would respond pretty well, I think. Biden would be destroyed. It would be like, because Dave's going to talk to Trump about foreign policy, and he's going to say, with all due respect, these things, and Trump's going to say, you don't understand with this, that, and Biden's going to be like, "Arr," and then they're both going to turn and look at him and be like, now let's talk about you, and then it's just going to be, woo.
I think it would honestly make people uncomfortable to watch because I think they would be able to verbally outmaneuver Biden so easily, and then obviously intellectually, like totally different level. People are gonna watch it and be like, he's just getting wrecked. It's like when you watch one of those WWE fights and there's like an older fighter who's retiring and like he gets beaten up really bad, and you're sort of like, I don't really like this. Like, I
Look,
feel like you should step out.
Look, elder abuse is my kink, so I kind of like the idea. But
Phil, go home.
but I can't think of anything more enjoyable to do watching TV than watch Smith and
always-
Trump beat the crap out of tapioca brain Joe Pudding.
Oh,
Joe
Lord.
Pudding. All
I just
right,
always
J Girls.
wanted.
J Girl says, not cheating, it's optimizing. Used by consultants and tech workers in their corporate work. Republicans just have tech illiterate campaign runners. To that something that affects, like the Act Blue Win Red thing was shocking to me when I found that out.
Double kill.
I was like, how do you run the second biggest political party and not have a tech division running digital fundraising for it? It's crazy to me. But, you know, that's what it is. All right, let's see what we got.
Another one put down.
MF Danian says voting for party regardless of candidate quality is the slow-growing terminal cancer that's got us to this point. Stop rewarding it. Yeah, but that's why, you know, some people have like, the libertarians tell me, like, you can't vote for Trump because it's the lesser of two evils. You got to change the thing and vote for libertarians. And I'm like, nah, dude, that argument worked like in 2008 and 2012. But then we got Trump, and Trump's not the lesser of two evils. Trump's actually okay. Pretty good in some ways. Best foreign policy of my life. And anybody who says otherwise is lying.
Good
Abraham
shooting,
Accords,
Spartan.
right? Afghanistan withdrawal plans, not implementation. Biden screwed that up. The negotiations with Kim Jong-un was historic. It's insane to me. I mean, it was just absolutely fantastic, and the economy was great. So, lesser of two evils. I'm like, this guy was standing up for this country. He was securing its borders. He was bringing jobs back. He was doing good work for the union middle class guys. He was doing good on foreign policy. How is that evil? Other than, like, he wasn't doing enough to immediately end the foreign wars. He was winding them down.
And how could the former Speaker of the House publicly state that he couldn't support Donald Trump in November?
Because he's evil.
Think about that now. He's the former Speaker of the House. Not too long ago. I don't.
I don't trust those people.
Yeah.
I think they're power-hungry, evil, elitist authoritarians. And I think Donald Trump is narcissistic
Another one put down.
and arrogant. That's an understatement. But I think he knows what he wants. I think he does like helping people. I think he does want to fix America. I think he does love this country. I think he's got some character defects. Again, understatement. But it's like, do you want the guy who's got character defects and kind of sounds nasty, but makes the machine run? It's like the way I described it a few years ago is you can hire the plumber who doesn't know what he's doing and is confused the whole time, or the plumber who's one of the best in the business, but he won't stop cussing up a storm in your bathroom. I gotta be honest, I'll take the guy who's cussing because he's gonna fix the pipes. I don't want crap flying all over the place. I'm not gonna call the other company where the guy can't fix the plumbing because he's nice to me. You know, nice is good, but... And Trump is a nice guy if you're nice to him. That's the reality. I've heard too many stories of Trump being a good person to other people, and he's only mean when people are mean to him.
My wife, I had an opportunity to take my wife down to visit with him, and you know, she didn't like some of his, you know, his comments and thought he was somewhat rude. And I said, well, baby's from New York, and he's a very successful businessman. But after she had an opportunity to engage with him and meet him, she had a different take on him. And I've said it several times. I don't know of a guy that loves this country more than he does. He puts the American people first, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm like, listen, we're a great country. We've done so well. We're the greatest country in the world. We've helped others, but I'm telling you right now, what about taking care of the American people first before we just start throwing billions of dollars into Ukraine? What about our own southern border? What about the homelessness? What about the mental illness that we have in this country? What about the crime in this country? But we're more concerned about spending billions and billions of dollars and sending it to Ukraine in a war that I can't really understand. The administration here doesn't even have a real strategy as it relates to Ukraine. And that's just going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly, Tim, because the negotiation, he's going to want Crimea back. Zelensky's going to want Crimea back. It's not happening.
Yeah. All right. The Tennessee Tornado says, agreed the Democrats are a cult, but how is turning on someone because they won't kiss Trump's ass not also a cult? I agree with you. That's why I've said there's a Trump cult for sure. A lot of people who are like crazy Trump burning DeSantis flags. I'm like, yo, that's weird. But there's not that many of them. It's like 5 guys stand outside a Trump Tower waving flags. And there's some with an online presence. There's probably tens of thousands maybe. But if we're talking about 74 million Trump voters, these are regular people. That's it. The Democrats, You got to be nuts to vote for Joe Biden. You got to be mindless zombies to vote for that guy. For Trump to have gained 12 million votes, that means people had to actively resist the corporate press and learn something for themselves and say, you know what, I got to vote for this guy. That's not a cult. But the media is going to keep lying, so. All right, Kenny Cab says put ballot boxes in churches, nursing homes, and gun ranges. Right there. There's gun ranges, that's a good one. I like that. All right, where we go? What we got? Let's see. Let's see where we at. I'm trying to read this one. What is this?
Tim's finding super chats. Can you tell us about the pilot legislation that you're working on right now? I think it's kind of interesting because so many people, especially going to spring and everything, are traveling and are experiencing the problems with the travel, the airline the issues.
Yeah, Hannah, I serve on the Transportation Infrastructure Committee, and I'm the chairman over pipelines or hazardous material pipelines and rails.
Oh wow, so you've
Kind
been
of
busy.
interesting. I've been to East Palestine before, but right now there's a shortage of pilots. Obviously, we fly a lot. Obviously, there's a shortage of pilots, and the current law is once you turn 65, you can no longer fly the big airlines. So what we're trying to do is have legislation to take it from 65 to 67, which just makes sense. I can't see now the ALPA, which is the big union for many of these big airlines, they're against it. But I just think it makes sense, and I think we're getting some momentum. We got some senators over there that are drafted their own legislation, very similar to my legislation, and I think we're going to get this through because it just makes sense.
What's the union's reason for being against it?
Well, they really don't. They say that they have scientific data that says that going 65 to 67 could be related to health issues, but these same pilots are they're taking their EKGs, they go through vigorous physical assessments and health assessments. So I just think maybe it's because, these guys up at the top that have been there for 30 years are probably holding their slot, and they want that slot, they want that seniority, so maybe they could get the better flights and have, and choose what they want to do and where they want to fly. So it makes no sense to me. And I've had a lot of them inside my office over the last couple of weeks. And these guys, I tell you, you look at them, you want those guys in the cockpit. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. It's not a cockpit. It's a flight deck. It's a flight deck. I can't say cockpit because that's offensive. So it's in the flight deck. And I want the most experienced, qualified person in that flight deck. And there's a lot of guys in that
Cockpit is offensive?
Oh, yeah.
What if we feminize it and call it
Don't say crewman either.
What if we
Do
feminize?
not say crewman. It's a crew person.
If it's offensive because cockpit is masculine, what if we made it feminine like snizzhole?
Twat room.
I don't like it.
Oh my!
I'm just gonna say I don't feel more included. I don't.
Well, but like pit, hole,
Yeah.
and like cock and sniz. So
But this is how silly this is getting.
Fucking hit the shot.
This is how silly this is getting when we're having to change words, cockpit, and you can't say crewman anymore, and now it's crew person. I mean, it's just getting absolutely.
I know,
silly.
you know, people-
flight attendant. That was the first
people
one.
get
we
mad at
said.
us
right.
because we have cocktown.
Right.
Roosters.
That's a technical
cockerels.
term.
Right.
It's a scientific reference. It is a town full of cocks.
But that's the legislation. It'll be good for the airline industry, and we're going to get it done.
Why did they pick 65? It was just.
Well, years
said
ago they changed
scientific
it.
data.
They changed it from 60 to 65. It was 60.
Okay.
They changed it to 65. We just want to take it to 67.
All right, Patrick C. says, Tim, you forgot about Gen X. We haven't aged out to die, LOL, and most of us are very right-leaning. I didn't forget.
We just don't think about you.
No, it's just not relevant to bring up because you're not dying. That's the point. Your votes are still there. Boomers are relevant to the conversation because many of them are dying, retiring, and just not voting. Gen Xers are there voting, but millennials and Gen Z are crazy. You see, it was a compliment without referencing you. I was pointing out that we don't need to worry about Gen Z because y'all are doing all right, but millennials and Gen Z are nuts. So, well, I mean, I think most people who watch the show are actually millennials, so we're doing all right, I guess. So I appreciate that. So we'll got to get it done. All right. Max Morano says, as a business owner, I work for over 150 aesthetic medical practices across the country. The affluent are not spending money. If the rich are not spending, the poor are not spending. I have way more insight and would like to speak with you about this. Call or email.
Triple kill.
Let me just say that looking at all of the ad spending, I think the economy is about to collapse. Very, very, very much so. Because I'm looking at our numbers and looking at what BuzzFeed reported. I think even Vice Media is on the verge of collapse, like outright total just bankruptcy. That's the I didn't even know, I didn't even see this. It was like last month. Vice is talking about going bankrupt or something like that. Bankrupt. Vice. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, they were like worth $5-6 billion. Bankrupt. It's getting bad.
Happens
So-
faster than you think.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we're doing fine financially, I guess. If we want to expand, like, we need to bring on more members and stuff like that.
Nearing victory.
But I don't know. If it does get substantially worse, I'm talking like double, triple, then we'll be in trouble. And we're doing better than BuzzFeed.
Not today.
Ad rates are down, but that's why we shifted to a membership-based company. So if you want to see us keep doing this, then become a member at timcast.com. Smash that like button. Support the show. We have set up the Discord channel. And as an aside, I also have been like I texted the CEO of Rumble. I was like, guys, you need to make your own version of Discord.
That'd be helpful.
But anyway, become a member. Go to timcast.com. Click join us. Sign up. If you want to get into the VIP voice chat immediately, then it's $25 a month. We're setting it up so that after like 6 months, you can drop back down to 10. We just have to create some kind of gate to keep out bad actors. So there's a lounge in the VIP lounge, and that's either 6 months as a member or $25 a month. And then we take submissions for questions. So we'll try and do some call-ins tonight. Hopefully it works out. So again, smash the like button. You can follow the show at TimCastIRL. You can follow me at TimCast. I think we got suspended on Facebook, so there's more bad news for just business revenue or whatever. So, and then we've got we're being sued, which maybe we'll get into at some point. But Nails, do you want to shout anything out?
No, again, I appreciate you.
I'll be right back. I'm just gonna
having me here
throw some
today, and
laundry.
I appreciate you coming. It's been an absolute great conversation.
Leave the volume on.
And I just think it's we have very trying times right now. All the conversation seems to be about Donald Trump. And I'm glad that the primary season it's upon us now. You're 12 months away from having this primary, and I think we just need to coalesce, get behind Donald Trump, Governor DeSantis, if you're listening, just get behind Donald Trump, support him, let Donald save some of his money because the real battle is going to be in November. Let's come together and do what we can to save this country. Period.
Right on.
Cool. It's been great, guys. I'm Hannah Claire. I'm a writer for timcast.com. You can follow me personally on Twitter at HCBrimolo, and you can follow me on Instagram at hannahclaire.b. That's the end of it. You should definitely 110% follow at Timcast News on Twitter and Instagram. You can see work from me and all of our other journalists, and we're doing some really cool on-the-ground stuff right now with Alad, so check that out. Thanks, guys.
I am Phil Labonte. You can follow me on Twitter at PhilThatRemains, and on Instagram I am at PhilThatRemainsOfficial.
And I am Surge.com. People ask me where you can find the music. It's at Cool Contest Records. It's just a single track. Appreciate it. Thank you. Good one. Let's have people on the actual Discord chat that are actually going to leave voice chat. Like, get ready for that. Start going to do it now because we will be able to make it work today, Tim. So. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. And we will see you all over at timcast.com. Should be on the front page in about 7 minutes. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you there.
Wisconsin, then hopefully it warms up later this week. I know there's a lot of people that are on spring break, so we hope everyone enjoys themselves who've come down here to visit. I'm pleased to be joined by a number of people today for today's announcement. First, Taryn Bragdon. He's the founder and CEO of the Foundation for Government Accountability based in Naples. John Rothel, Senior Director of Government Affairs for Florida at the League of Southeastern Credit Unions. And Dr. Pete Wyndham, a dentist here from Panama City. So if you look at what's happening with our economy, we had starting in 2020 massive fiscal stimulus, and that ended up being trillions and trillions of dollars over a couple years. The Fed reduced interest rates to basically zero, pumped a lot of money into the economy, and that led to inflation. And I think almost anyone who was looking at what was going on over the last many years would have said that inflation was the likely result of those policies. Now, the Fed itself, when it was clear that we were seeing an inflationary upturn, said that it was transitory, that this was something that would just work itself out. And so they did not act when they should have. They got behind the curve. And so as inflation continued to spike and continue to be a huge problem for our economy, they responded by hiking rates very, very rapidly, very, very quickly. That's done a lot of things to hurt a lot of people, but it has put a lot of pressure on the banking sector in particular. And so we had recently this issue with the Silicon Valley Bank, which was bailed out. I mean, this is a bank that had invested in a lot of long-term bonds that were no longer profitable because the interest rates have gone up. They also did things like focused a lot on ESG and DEI and didn't do appropriate risk management. So they ended up being in a situation where they were insolvent. And so the Fed, because this is a bank that is very politically connected with people in Silicon Valley, the Fed and the Treasury Department bailed it out. Now, they try to say it's not a bailout because they say it's going to be paid for by banking fees. But who pays the banking fees? Customers. So you're going to pay more for fees to do banking in order to give the Silicon Valley people a bailout. Now, there was not a systemic risk to the economy from this one bank, but they were politically connected. And here's the thing. When you engage in those types of policies like we've seen over many years, someone is going to have to pay the bill. Ultimately, the bill comes due. And so what they've now done in the last couple weeks is they've printed another $300 billion.
Right? That was funny.
Fuck.
Big blue G-Man. Yeah. Big blue G-Man. Big blue.
Lay claim to the zones and defend them.
I'm going straight for B. Shout, scream. Who would be? Ooh. Oh, that's you right there. Oh, my bad, my bad. I didn't mean to take that one. My bad. I was trying to get him weak. Trying to give you that triple.
Stronghold Bravo is ours.
They taking C.
The enemy has captured Charlie.
Your team
Appreciate it.
scored.
Oh. Got him. Damn. Ah, shotgun. Let's see. Oh, what the hell? How did they have to spawn at B then?
The enemy has captured Bravo.
Let's just kill two. Yeah. Let's kill two.
We've captured Charlie.
Dude, he's just weak as hell with the shotgun. Just naded. Oh, okay, I was about to say.
Good shooting.
They're taking A too.
The enemy has captured
2A? Oh, 3A. What the
Enemy
fuck?
team
Dude? Oh, 2A.
The enemy has captured Charlie.
Rocket 14. They're gonna push me here today, right now. Oh shit. God tier grenade. That's crazy. I'm pushing it right now. There you go. Another one. Shit, my bad.
F41 Spanker available.
They'll think twice next time.
Yeah.
Your team scoring.
I'm pissing them off. God tier. Oh my goodness.
Shitty
Stronghold
grenade.
Bravo lost.
Enemy team scored.
Oh, what the fuck, dude?
Your team scoring.
There's another one to be probably chilling.
Stronghold Alpha lost.
One King Street with it. Nice.
Stronghold Bravo is ours.
Alright, they're most likely spawning D. Or C, my bad. Yep. Rough. Few stairs, few stairs.
Stronghold Alpha is ours.
One shot. Oh, that's a terrible death by that kid.
Wow. Yeah, they spawn C.
The enemy has captured Bravo.
Enemy team scoring.
Come take C with me. Yeah. Just stay up top there.
Don't kill me.
M41 Spanker
I'm
inbound.
weak as hell. There you go.
We've captured Charlie.
Up and out of B.
Plasma grenades acquired. M41 Spanker available.
Spanker's up. Oh shit, we didn't even play. Damn, we did not play Spanker. That's my fault.
Scoring.
They got Spanker
Let's
tires.
see them try to take it from us.
This guy top C. Okay. Yeah, there's another nigga at
Enemy
C.
team scoring.
Got him. Oh, third guy at C. Oh my goodness. Just keep pushing C.
Stronghold Charlie lost.
Yeah, bottom C and top C. They're pushing B ramp right now. Watching the balcony.
It's yours. Now we keep it that way.
Both of them.
The enemy has captured Alpha.
Fuck. Perfect grenade. That's what I dodged it too.
Lead.
Alright, I'm taking it. Yeah. I'm watching. What's your attack? I got some shots on him. He's coming up. He's coming up. I got some shots on him. There's some. Ooh, I just nailed you up.
Is ours.
That's my fault.
Stronghold Bravo.
Yeah, we gotta play those rockets. Fuck it, we're playing rockets.
Spanker. Inbound.
We need those rockets bad.
Double kill.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what these kids are doing half the time.
Oh my fucking gosh. Fucking stupid ass melee.
Your
Get rockets,
team
get rockets.
scored.
Yeah. Ah, dude, fucking catch that shit, man. Yeah, I knew it. They were just waiting for that shit too. Oh man.
Double kill.
Valorous work, Spartan. Stronghold Alpha lost.
One guy's tires. Careful captain right now. Boom, baby. They're taking. Okay, let me not be there.
Gained the lead.
What the fuck? How is there a guy behind me at A? Come on, give me a fucking break.
Stronghold Bravo
Damn.
lost.
Enemy team scored. Lost the lead.
God damn. Fuck out of here. Head ever quick? Let me go to B.
We've captured Alpha.
Your team scoring.
Going tires.
Gained the lead.
God, bro.
Stronghold Bravo is ours.
Yeah. Yeah. They're at A right now. Just two. They're out A. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. Just chill, 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 chill. There's two seats. They're pushing seat. They're pushing seat. All right, help out. Help out, C. Help out, C.
You're quite lethal.
Halfway to
Yeah.
victory.
I'm pretty sure they're weak. All right. Everybody. Oh, wow. They spawned A's as well. They spawned A's as well.
Stronghold Charlie lost.
Enemy team scored.
Yeah, you dick.
M41 Spanker available.
There's. You see? All right, they're gonna push B here pretty soon. Ooh, I think he used both of them.
Your team scoring.
Stronghold Alpha is ours. The enemy
Jesus
has
Christ, they're all
captured
fucking there.
All right, one guy's pushing B right now. Two guys.
The enemy has captured Bravo. We've captured
Okay.
Charlie.
Just spawn Pink Street. Okay, they traded at C, taking A. Okay, cool.
Stronghold Alpha lost.
I'm buying Cafe right now. There you go. Taking A. There you go. Cafe with me. Cafe. Towards me, A. We get A. We get A. Absolute. He's absolute still. He's weak. Coming behind you at A. Oh shit.
Outstanding. The enemy has captured Charlie. M41 Spanker inbound. Stronghold Alpha is ours.
All right, watch our rockets.
M41
Oh, why that- come on.
Spanker available. The
It's
enemy
okay.
has captured Alpha.
Take C.
Enemy team scoring.
We've captured Charlie.
They're annoying as shit.
Stronghold Bravo lost.
Hostile incinerated. Off the rack.
We've captured Alpha.
Your team
These
scored.
stairs, I got some shots on them.
The enemy has captured Charlie.
Yeah, they're all C. They're all C. Oh, one's cafe behind me. One's absolute A.
Outstanding.
Enemy team scoring.
One guy's at top A. He think he doing something. Nope.
Stronghold Bravo is ours.
Your team scored.
They spawn C.
Victory.
Yeah.
Is there a site?
Oh, yeah, we got a controller.
I can show it.
Showed you that day.
What mode is this? It's like
Back up the
layer
left
enemies.
to achieve victory.
One down.
Gained the lead.
Good shooting, Spartan.
I think I didn't die. There we go.
Someone's jumping down. One shot on the stairs going to overshield.
Not quite one shot, kid.
Right.
That guy was.
Put down. Double kill.
Bartender. Is that a guy?
Bottom control.
Yep.
Got him.
Killing spree. Fitting comment.
Coming up base stairs.
Oh my god.
Ah.
That's 2 in Whirlpool Week. Nice. Active in 1.
Active camo.
I'm
Available.
right down there.
He's down. I don't think he. Oh shit.
Anybody get it? Or he already used it?
He might.
You're quite lethal with that.
Oh, right here. I'm dead. Coming up.
I'm gonna get beat down.
Top control. Top A.
Bottom.
How doesn't he die? It's fucking bullshit.
What the fuck?
C plat. Coming up C stairs. Oh, one in the attic. Ah. Top control going A. Ooh.
This kid's fucking looking at the ground when I start shooting him somehow.
Active camo inbound.
Need a nice killing spree.
Halfway to victory.
Fucking little bitches. Like fucking cockroaches. They're never alone.
Oh my god, all the fucking time. Every time I get one fucking shot on them.
One bottom A.
How's that not my kill?
Where?
Plasma grenades
Purple.
obtained. Plasma grenades acquired.
Tied up.
Gained the lead. Double kill.
camo inbound.
Really?
Some nice plays
One
right
in-
there.
One shot right there.
Active camo available.
One shot going.
A stairs on the bottom from the pit. Eek. Oh. Stuck.
Did not mean to stick my teammate there. But it happens.
Jason, you big back, keep going.
5
Move.
minutes remain. Nearing victory.
Orange tunnel's weak.
Lost the lead.
Is that my own grenade?
Who's C plat too?
Gained the lead.
Active camo inbound.
Lost the lead.
Ammo on 2.
Imagine being this fucking afraid of a game.
Active camo available.
That's how you play.
Oh,
Plasma grenades acquired. Expertly thrown.
Bitch.
Double kill.
attic weak.
Be proud of us.
Nice.
Gained the lead.
On long haul.
Lost the
What?
lead.
Plasma grenades obtained.
Why are you in there? Get out of there. Let me die.
Defeat.
I hate when, like, people do that. Like, when they have no fucking ground to stand on trying to get the last kill. Or to bring us back. And then they run in there like they're fucking Rambo. Die. Top of the ninth.
is easy. Keeping it, on the other hand.
How the?
Hill ready. Enemy team took the hill.
Not quite, buddy.
Outstanding. Overshield available.
Nice.
Hill control. Enemy team took the hill. Enemy about to score.
Well placed flash. Overshield inbound.
Overshield located.
How have we not taken?
Overshield available.
Enemy team score.
Why would you leave the fucking zone, you idiot?
Incoming. Hill ready. Hill control. Enemy team took the hill.
S7 sniper inbound. Filtering twice next time. S7 sniper available.
Enemy about to score. Hill control.
Shoot him! Thank you. God.
Enemy team took the hill.
Why are they so bad?
Inbound.
Enemy team score.
Ow, I'm in the fucking zone.
Coming.
Overshield available.
Hill ready. Enemy team took the hill. Take cover.
What an extraordinary weapon.
Hill control.
Melting point achieved.
Your team about to score. Enemy team took the hill. Enemy team took the hill.
Don't.
Enemy about
Can we?
to
Where the
score.
fuck are we? Team is terrible. 6 kill.
Hill controlled. Your team scored. Hill incoming. Hill ready.
Yeah, they weren't running it. That wasn't
Hill controlled.
the ideal thing for them to do at the moment. But what's up? How are you?
Enemy team took the hill.
Top of the ninth, 2 outs. Trout's up. Let's see if he can do it. Outside. Oh.
You're quite lethal with that. Enemy team took the hill.
Shields are down.
Hill controlled. Your team about to score. Your team scored. Hill incoming. Hill ready. Enemy team took the hill.
Overshield is mine.
Ah, he struck out.
Tango's closing in.
Enemy shields down.
Enemy team took the hill.
Enemy Spartan closing in.
Hill controlled.
S7 sniper inbound.
Okay. Alright.
Your team about to score. Enemy team took the hill.
S7 sniper available. Another one put down.
Hill controlled. Enemy team took the hill.
Shields are down.
Enemy about to score.
Overshield inbound.
Hill controlled.
Overshield available.
incoming. Hill ready. Enemy team took the hill. Hill control. Enemy team took the hill. Hill control. You're quite lethal with that. Nearing victory.
Shoot him once, shoot him once. Nice.
Enemy team took the hill. Hill control. Power items inbound. Outstanding. Enemy team took the hill.
Enemy shields down.
Enemy about to score.
Stay mobile. They're mopping us up.
Enemy team scored. Hill incoming. Hill ready. Hill control. Another one put down. Not today, friend.
The sound in this game is trash sometimes. You're not dead?
Enemy team took the hill. Hill control.
Overshield inbound.
They're close.
Victory.
Simple man. Leonard Skinner. Very good song.
Oddball. Round one. Ball incoming.
Take and hold the oddball to score.
We have the ball. Ball dropped.
Not today.
Enemy has the ball. Ball dropped.
Overshield available.
Enemy has the ball.
Another one down.
Ball dropped.
An ally has slain the carrier. Keep a tight grip on that Spartan.
Ball dropped. Enemy has the ball. Ball dropped. Enemy has the ball. Ball dropped.
Hostile carrier down. Hold on to that and we win.
Gained the lead.
Another one down.
Ball dropped.
Come on, pay attention. There you go.
We have the ball.
They're close. Shields are down.
Ball dropped.
Allied carrier down.
We've lost a
Enemy has the ball.
Overshield inbound.
up there.
Overshield available.
Tango closing in.
Ball dropped.
Hostile carrier down.
Ball incoming. Enemy has the ball. Ball dropped.
Fuck.
Enemy has the ball.
Enemy overshield.
Lost the lead.
Enemy shields down.
Ball dropped. We have the ball.
Three, two, one. Okay.
Gained the lead. Halfway to victory.
S7 sniper available.
Ball dropped. Enemy has the ball.
Allied carrier down.
Tango's closing in.
Lost the lead. Ball dropped. We have the ball.
Hostile carrier down.
Gained the lead.
They're close.
Nearing victory.
We've lost a teammate. Overshield inbound.
Ah, what a whip. Someone shoot. Look at these bullets.
Round one.
Good stuff.
Ball incoming.
A win is in reach, Spartan. Overshield inbound.
We have the ball.
Overshield available.
It's not that serious.
They'll think twice next time.
We have the ball. Ball dropped. Enemy has the ball. Ball dropped. We have the ball. Ball dropped.
They'll think twice next time.
Double kill. We have the ball. Ball dropped. We have the ball.
Fuck, man, that did it.
Ball dropped.
We've lost possession.
Enemy has the ball.
Eyes up.
Overshield available.
Ball dropped.
An ally has slain the carrier.
Halfway to victory.
Down there. Tango's closing in.
Nearing victory.
S7 sniper inbound.
Enemy Spartan.
S7 sniper available.
Victory.
Couldn't play like shit that round, but doesn't matter.
Rack up the most kills to achieve victory.
Good kill. Fields down.
Gained the lead.
Good shooting, Spartan.
Not from the right.
Eyes up.
Irresistible force, meet object.
Nice.
We've lost a teammate.
Not today, friend. Active camo inbound. Active camo available. Thrusters obtained.
Enemy there.
Good shooting, Spartan.
Keep your head down. Target spotted. Target spotted. Closing in.
Oh. That's just bad luck after bad luck right there.
Lost a teammate.
In my sights. Halfway to victory.
Kill him.
Active camo available.
Dying way too much right now. Is he invisible? Ah, shit. shit.
Nearing victory.
Active camo available.
This kid hides. I chase after him when he gets getting attacked. Just a death machine, this game.
Minutes remaining. Victory. No, let me do. I wish that I knew what I know now. When I was younger, I wish that I knew what I know now. When I was stronger. Such a pretty show makes you all the way. We're backstage back on Earth again. Dressing rooms are gray. What's wrong? It ain't too long before they make you feel a man. Love is blind, and soon we'll find you're just a boy again. I wish that I knew what I know now. When I was younger, I wish that I knew what I know now. When I was stronger, I wish that I knew what I know now. When I was younger, I wish that I knew what I know now. When I was stronger. I don't think I've ever played this level.
Enemy flags.
I
in
want the
Allied hands.
sniper.
Flag captured.
In my sights.
Another one put down.
My shot is off today.
Our forces have seized the enemy flag. A well-placed plasma. I see headshots in your future. Power items inbound. Power items on the field. Flag captured.
Not good enough.
They have our flag. Take it back. Enemy flags in Allied hands.
Target spotted.
Flag returned. Flag captured.
She's going for 6 right now. Got him.
Another one put down. Power items incoming. Flag captured. Hurry the flag back to base. They know where you are.
Enemy flag returned.
Our forces have seized the enemy flag.
Lost a teammate.
Flag captured. Victory. You had a regal air about you. Now to prove it.
Yeah, just hide in the fucking corner, man.
Hill ready.
Try to
Enemy
do all the
team
work.
took the hill.
Ow.
Hill control. Enemy team took the hill. Hill control.
Outstanding.
Boom.
Enemy team took the hill. Hill control.
Active camo available.
Enemy team took the hill. Enemy about to score.
Why would you leave the game? She's not even moving.
Enemy team scored. Hill incoming. Hill ready.
Expertly thrown.
Double kill. Hill control.
An electric kill.
Off the rack.
A fitting
I
commendation.
don't even know how this gun really works.
Enemy about to score. Enemy team scored. Hill incoming. Hill ready. Enemy team took the hill.
Outstanding. Oh, active camo inbound. They'll think twice next time. Swift and silent. Active camo available. Fatal vision confirmed.
Enemy about to score.
Where's he up top?
Enemy team scored. Hill incoming. Hill ready. Enemy team took the hill.
today, friend.
Shields are down.
Plasma grenades obtained.
Enemy team nearing victory. Double kill. Triple kill. Overkill. Kill control.
I saw that. I did. I saw the whole thing.
Enemy team took the hill.
I hope the kid's family who's left rots in hell
Available.
Defeat.
for all eternity.
Earn more kills than your opponents to win.
In my sights.
Gained the lead. Double kill. Triple kill. Lost the
Glass. Weaken glass.
Down.
Do it, you little bitch.
We going to see steps. 2 on me. 2 on Max. One of them's one hot.
Outstanding.
Stick together, shit.
Shit, stick together, shit. Get a fucking kill, shit. I mean, I'm fucking killing her team. He doesn't hear me, by the way, but.
I'm grappling hook 1 hit. Long haul. 2 on me at C steps. 1 shot.
They're close.
Wow. Kid lost that.
Active camo available.
I'm gonna get camo. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. I'm in the pit. I'm in pit. I'm in camo. I'm in camo. I need help. One hit. One hit. One hit. One hit. Going to.
Good shooting.
Going to steps. Going to steps. Two on me at C. Two on me at C. Sneaky, sneaky, and at C. They're long haul, all three of them. One hit on B. One hit on B right now.
Down there.
Going A, going A, going A. T, coming to you, coming to you. One hit, he's one hit, he's one hit. When I'm, they're spawning at C. They're spawning at C. On you, Moorhead. On you, I got shot from him. One shot pit. One shot pit. One on pistol right now. Oh my god, two and A.
Enemy halfway to victory.
He's on A, jump up in the back right now, jumping up right now. No, he went low, He went low. Dude, I got your help here, just don't die. I got your help, don't die. You get him? Okay. You got camo up here. Camo guy up here somewhere. Camo guy's around us somewhere here, so.
Pop their shields.
They're in A still. In A. They're spawned there. One's walking up steps below glass right now. On glass. Oh fuck.
Skid
I'm
voice.
into one hit. Max going back down. Max is gonna be back to you. He's gonna be next to you, Moorhead. It's gonna be across there. Yeah, but he's up here. One hit, dropping down in the pit. One weak. On us, Moorhead. I need help, Moorhead. Come on. One hit. One of them's one hit.
I need help, Moorhead. How did he say that?
You're getting shot in the back, dude.
Without.
Spartan down. Tango closing in.
Active camo inbound.
I got shot from another guy. He's like 2 hits. Still a guy back C. He's one hit back C.
Shields are down.
Watch out back C. He's one hit.
We've lost a teammate.
I got the guy that got camo. I think he burnt it. Yeah, he burnt it. One hit on camo right now. Got the other guy.
Victory.
Shit, there's 2 of them there. They're both one hit. Both.
Not today,
Oh,
trainer.
are you serious? Still bottom mid.
Another one.
One hit bottom mid. You guys put together if we actually want to come back here right now.
They'll think twice next time.
top A. Top A.
Enemy Spartans are closing in.
Bottom A, bottom A. Yep, nice. Coming from B to A. He's still there. He's one hit. He's one hit. Shit. We.
Pop their shields.
We gotta group up. On B right now. Free kill. Fuck. Glass. On pistol. Oh, not good.
Yeah, we lost.
You're quite lethal with that.
Double kill.
Active camo inbound. Another trophy for the party. Another one put down. Active camo available.
Defeat.
I almost did it. I just didn't have enough time. And with that kid's attitude. Don't let me down. This will probably be my last game. Got work tomorrow. Gotta be up 6 hours. Probably go to sleep in like 2. My girl, where will you go? They all just fucking look at me.
Our forces have seized the enemy flag.
This kid's still alive?
They've taken our flag. Look there. Enemy flag carrier.
Enemy flag returned.
The enemy carrier has revealed themselves.
Perfect.
No.
Enemy captured your flag.
Plasma grenades acquired.
Terrible fucking grenades. Deserved it.
Flag on mark.
Power items now available. Enemy flags in Allied hands.
I don't know where to fucking go.
All eyes are on you now. They've taken our flag. Look there, an enemy flag carrier. You've been spotted.
Stand in the fucking circle. Stand in the circle. Oh my god.
They know where you are.
Flag returned. Flag captured.
May your aim be true.
Another one down.
Power items en route. Enemy flag in Allied hands. Power items on the field. Look there, an enemy flag carrier.
Enemy flag returned.
I mean, I'm playing like absolute shit, and somehow I'm doing the best on the team.
We have eyes on the enemy flag carrier.
I don't know. I don't think I like this.
Captured your flag.
They've taken our flag. The enemy carrier has revealed itself.
Perfect.
Valorous work, Spartan.
Flag returned. Enemy flag returned.
Enemy flags in Allied hands. Not today, friend.
Enemy flag returned.
Power items incoming. Power items on the field.
Killing spree. Double kill.
Our forces have seized the enemy flag. Another one down. Enemy Spartans are closing in. They've taken our flag. Outstanding.
Five minutes remaining. Flag returned. Flag captured.
Terrible. You know, you miss those shots, but hit the other ones. Doesn't make sense sometimes.
Power items en route.
Double kill.
They're in the corner.
Power items have arrived. Plasma grenades acquired. Enemy flags in Allied hands.
Enemy flag returned.
Did I get two snipers there? Yeah. Ah, what a whiff. Nice.
Enemy flags in Allied hands.
Flag captured.
Power items incoming.
Thought I would grapple onto that, but I didn't.
Enemy flags in Allied hands.
Flag returned.
They'll think twice next time.
Double kill.
Not today, friend.
I held him up.
Enemy flag returned. 1 minute remaining. seconds remaining. Target spotted. Spartans are closing in. 10 seconds.
Power items en route.
Are they not just making a push?
Victory.
Whatever. My girl, don't lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? In the pines where the sun don't ever shine, I would shiver the whole night through. My girl, where will you go? I'm going, the cold wind blows. In the pines where the sun don't ever shine, I'd shiver the whole night through. Her husband was a hard-working man. It was about a mile from here. His head was found in a driving wheel, but his body never was found. My girl, don't lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? In the pines where the sun don't ever shine, shiver the whole night through. Two of us riding nowhere, spending someone's autumn day. You and me Sunday driving, night arriving on our way back home. We're on our way home. We're on our way home. Going home. Two of us sending postcards, writing letters on my wall. You and me burning matches, lifting latches on our way back home. We're on
I have memories longer than the road that stretches out ahead. Two of us wearing raincoats, standing solo in the sun. You and me chasing paper, getting nowhere on our way back home. We're on our way home. We're on our way home. We're going home. You and I have memories longer than the road that stretches out ahead. Two of us wearing raincoats, standing solo in the sun. You and me chasing paper, getting nowhere on our way back home. We're on our way home. We're on our way home. We're going home. Alright. I'm gonna call it. I'll be on. Not tomorrow, I work. What's today? Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday, I'll be on at some point. Until then, adios. Follow if you don't follow, or don't. It's up to you. But, I'll be back. Adios.